Hey everyone, it's Casey Nicole, and today we're going to go through a stretch and release. We'll wind ourselves down into a final resting position to help relax our bodies, to get any of that tension out with more passive, relaxing poses. So I have 2 blocks and a strap that we'll be using today. Mostly everything is going to be done from a reclined position, aside from transitions or how we're starting right now from a seated position. So I would recommend having all of these props available because we will use them for everything we got going on today. So we're going to start off with coming into a supported fish pose. So in supported fish, this is focused on opening up into the heart space, so the back of the chest. And as we go through this, you can kind of think about this as a way to wind down and relax your body. But this is also going to mirror a lot of what you'll see at the end of a Vinyasa practice or a Hatha practice that's going to embody more of the releasing and relaxing leading up to a Shavasana. Okay, so nice relaxing elements. We don't want to bring in too much intensity. So please listen to your body. As we set up for this heart opener, I would recommend taking the block that's going to go right behind your heart, taking that to its lowest setting. Okay. And as for your head, if you want to have it more heart opening, take your head level with your heart. If you want to decrease the amount of intensity, you can take your head block up a little higher, maybe 1 notch, or maybe 2 notches. And if you want a little more intensity, you can get rid of the block for your head altogether. Now, if the block behind your heart, if it being flat is still too much for you, you can roll up a blanket to come down a little bit lower, just as much. You just want a little bit of lift away from the ground. That's it. Okay. You don't need that much. But if it feels good, take it. If not, get rid of it. The biggest part is we want to keep the hips on the ground. We don't want them to be curled up away from the floor and put unnecessary tension on the body. So the block behind the heart goes below your shoulder blades, not underneath your shoulder blades, like directly onto them. We want them to be below so that the shoulders are free. So from your seated position, you're going to start to slowly lower yourself down onto that first block. If you notice that your hips won't come down with your heart supported by the block, then use a blanket underneath the heart instead. Okay, just roll it up. Otherwise, once you're here, I want you to remove the block from your head first and just see where you naturally fall. Wherever your head naturally stops, support it with your block. Okay, maybe it's up higher, maybe it's lower, or maybe your head wants to go all the way to the ground. Whatever variation you're in, that's perfectly fine. And just keep it there. Work out your little fidgets and then let your arms fall out to the sides. Your legs can do anything you want. If you want to just bend the knees, feet on the ground, great. You want to butterfly your legs, soles of the feet together, knees open, wonderful. If you would prefer to crisscross your legs or straighten them out on the ground, you can do that as well. But try to relax your legs and let all of the emphasis be on your upper body, just melting it open. We're going to take just a few grounding breaths to help us settle into this shape today. So relax all of your breath out and then take a slow inhale, fill up into your belly, fill up into your ribs, and then all the way up into your chest. Hold the breath at the very top. And then open up your mouth and let it go. Again, slow inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the rib cage, and all the way up into your chest and shoulders, holding it here. Open up your mouth and release. And then take one more, but entirely on your own. Go at your own pace, hold as long as it feels good, and then release out whenever you're ready. And then let your breath relax, coming into deep belly breath. So feel your belly rise And feel your belly fall with each complete breath, helping to relax the body, the mind. Let yourself come into a deeper place of ease, and we'll be here for about 5 more breaths. One more breath here. And since we're fairly close to the ground, we're all going to come out in the same way. So wherever your legs are, go ahead and bend the knees and walk the feet in. You're going to take your left arm up to your left side, and then you're going to slowly start to roll to the left arm and let yourself just roll off your blocks. Come into this little fetal position, and then use your top hand, your right hand, to press into the floor and guide yourself up. And as you do, let's go ahead and just bend the knees, feet to the floor, and let your body just round over your legs. Another breath here. Slowly coming all the way up. Let's take the blocks and move them out of our way for now. And we're going to grab our strap, coming down onto our backs. So from our backs, we're going to come into the hips and the hamstrings a lot deeper. Let's lift the right knee to the chest and take your strap, loop it around the ball of your right foot. Holding on to the strap ends with both of your hands, begin to extend your right leg towards the ceiling as much as you can. It's okay if there's a bend in the knee. Just work as much as extension as it's available to you in this posture, okay? And more space will become available as we move in. So as you extend as best as you're able, try to relax your shoulder blades towards the ground, taking some extra tension and effort out of the upper body. If you are fully extended, maybe you work on pulling the leg in closer towards your torso. You can either keep your left knee bent, or you can stretch it long on the ground, which is going to add a little extra intensity. If that creates any tension in your lower back or too much intensity in the posture in general, then just go ahead and rebend the knee at any point. Perfectly fine. Now, as you draw the leg in or extend out as much as you're able, just give yourself a few deepened breaths from this position. You should feel the entire back of the leg lighting up. And then take both ends of the strap into your right hand. I like to hold fairly close to the foot because it can always slide through my hand. That's okay. I'm just locking it here. Left hand to the top of the left hip. Keep it grounded down. Don't let it peel off the ground. Now with the top leg, you're going to turn the toes slightly away and then open the leg out to the right side while still pulling it close to the torso, extending the leg as much as possible as it opens out to the side. Now, maybe it only opens up a little bit. Maybe it opens up a lot, but either way, you're keeping the left hip down on the ground. Holding here, we're going to emphasize the external rotation on that right hip. So feel the heel start to tilt up and the toes start to angle down. And that rotation's happening all the way up into your thigh bone. Feeling it rotate in the hip socket. Give yourself just a couple more breaths here. Relaxing the hips. And then slowly bring the leg all the way back up to center. Once it's above you, switch your hands. Left hand now connects to the strap ends. Right arm can fall out to the side. Now, as you kick up through the heel as best as you can, pull it in. You're feeling that edge. And then just take the leg over to the left, just 2 to 3 inches, not very much. Keep reaching through the heel. If you don't feel anything, pull it in a little closer towards your torso as you kick out through the heel. Move slow so that you can feel all those little sensations, that you don't miss it. Give yourself another breath. Slowly lift the leg back to center. And as you bend the knee, you're going to take your right hand through the inside of the right leg. Happy baby. You're going to bend your right knee towards the ground. Okay, this is a half happy baby variation, one leg at a time. So as I bend my right knee towards the floor, sole of the foot is facing towards the ceiling. Even if I have to hold farther down on the strap, that's perfectly fine. You might even forego the strap and just hold on to the foot as you draw yourself into this half happy baby. If it's too much to have the left leg extended, just bend the knee. Perfectly fine. Give yourself a couple more breaths. And as you bend the knee, release the strap off the foot and stretch your leg out to meet the other. Shake out your legs and notice the considerable difference between right and left side. When you're ready, rebend both of the knees, walk the feet back in, and we're going to do the other side. Left foot lifts off the ground. Take the strap, loop it around the ball of your left foot. I like the ball of the foot rather than the arch because the ball of the foot allows me to create more flexion in my ankle, which intensifies the position. So as you extend your left leg towards the ceiling, work as much extension as you can. Whether the knee is bent or straight, just work where you are. If it's fully straightened, you can work on pulling it in. Now, with the strap connected to the ball of the foot, as I pull down, it's going to create a bend in my ankle, which is going to open up through my calf muscles as well, versus the arch, where sometimes the foot can just be a little bit more extended. We want to work on that bend into the ankle. Try to ease some tension off of your shoulders by letting them drape to the ground. If that means holding a little farther down on the strap, it's okay. Right knee can be bent or stretch it long in front of you. And just find your edges here, maybe pulling it in a little closer or extending out a little bit more, and give yourself just a few breaths in this position. One more deepened breath. Take both ends of the strap into your left hand, holding fairly close to the foot. Right hand to the top of your right hip, making sure it stays down, nice and grounded. Now with your top leg, let the toes turn out slightly and then open the leg out to the left while still pulling it in and extending out. And then once you find the edge, make sure the right hip stays down on the ground. It's not curling up. And then we're going to emphasize the external rotation in the hip here. So imagine the toes are trying to angle towards the floor. The heel is trying to angle up and feel it all the way up into that upper thigh bone. Give yourself just a couple more breaths in this position. Now slowly lift the leg all the way back to center. And once it's right above you, switch hands. Right hand holds the strap ends, left arm can just fall to the side. Now, as you extend up through the heel, find as much reach through the leg as you can, pull it in as close as you can, and then keep the tension as you take the leg 2 to 3 inches over to the right side. The whole side of the leg should start to light up here. Holding here for just a few breaths. Really concentrate on the slow deepening of your breath, softening some of that tension out. And then slowly lift the leg back to center. As you do, we're going to take that half happy baby variation. Bend the left knee, bring it to the side of the torso, and take your left hand to the inside to grab a hold of the strap ends or grab a hold of the foot. Sole of the foot faces towards the ceiling, bending the knee down towards the ground. Right leg can stay extended if that feels okay, or you can bend the knee if you want to take some of that intensity out. Couple more breaths. And then bend the knee, release the strap from your foot. You can set the strap out of your way now. Stretch your legs out and give them a good shake. We're going to take a supported bridge, which is going to help us to release and open up our lower backs. So bend the knees, walk the feet in. You're going to lift the hips, and I'd recommend taking the block to one of the lower two settings. But if the higher setting feels better for you, that's okay. Just make sure it's not too intense. Hips lift up. Notice how high the hips lift, and all you do is fill the space between your hips and the floor. The lower two settings tend to be a little more stable. The higher setting, a little bit more intensity. Make sure you feel stable in the position. Wherever you are, we're just going to hold here for about 4 breaths, and then we're going to take it into a different variation. So let the eyes drop into the sockets, relax your jaw, and just feel that slow deepening of your breath in and out of your nose. One more here. Now, if your block is on the highest setting, I'd recommend bringing it to one of the lower two settings for what we're about to do next, because we're going to be shifting a little bit in our bodies. And we just want it in a more stable position. So directly on the sacrum, that flat surface at the back of the pelvis. And then slowly begin to extend your legs up into a supported candlestick position. So this nice, gentle inversion helps to elevate the hips. And we get the heart slightly elevated over the head, or at least in a higher degree. And this way we can feel the calming of the nervous system. We can feel all of that energy from our feet draining to the hips, that anti-gravity sensation. If we always feel the gravitational pull down to our feet, this is going to feel really nice to get the opposite. Few more breaths. Let the mind clear out. Let it relax. Let it receive. One more breath. Bend into the knees. Slowly lower the feet to the ground one at a time. Lift the hips away from the block. Remove the block from underneath you, out of your way. And let the hips roll all the way down. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side. We're going to take banana pose, which is an opening into the side body. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift our bodies to the right side of the mat. Feel your hips touch the right side of the mat, and then lift your chest and your shoulders and rock them over to the left a little bit. So now your upper body is a little off skew from where your hips are. Take the arms over your head. You can always bend the elbows or keep your arms straight. I prefer a bend into the elbows. Grab a hold of your right wrist and pull it over to the left side, and just let your arms relax as much as you can. And then you're going to extend the legs out. Once the legs extend out, left leg comes out to the left just a little bit. Hook your right ankle over the top of the left shin and slide it down until your ankles are stacked. Make sure your shoulder blades are both on the ground. If your right shoulder has peeled up, you've gone too far. Back up until your right shoulder blade can rest down. Same thing with your right glute. If your glutes have started to peel off the ground, you've gone too far. The back of your body should still be connected on the floor. You should not be rolled up onto your side. And that way we can feel all of that tension and sensation starting to open up gently through the entire right side body. If you don't quite feel enough, you can walk your left foot wider, then cross your ankles and take it a little bit deeper. You're going to hold here about 4 slow breaths. And then as you release, let's slowly release the arms, release the legs, bring it back to center, bring the upper body back to center. Feel free to shake it out before we do the other side. And then we're going to scooch on over to the left side of the mat. Once the hips are lined up with the side of the mat, bend into the knees. You're going to lift your chest and shoulders and just rock them a little over to the right side. So your upper body is slightly askew. We call this banana pose because you create the shape of a banana. So reach the arms over your head. Grab a hold of your left wrist. Arms can stay straight or bend the elbows. Pull the arms over to the right side. And then relax both shoulder blades down on the ground. Ease into this shape. And then stretch your legs long in front of you. Right leg goes out wide. Left ankle crosses over the shin and slide the ankle down until the ankles can cross, feeling the right amount of intensity. If it's too much, bring the right foot in a little closer. If it's not enough, walk it out farther. Remember, both sides of your glutes should be down on the ground, and both sides of your shoulders should be down on the ground. If they're peeling up on that left side, you've gone a little too far. Just back off and feel the grounding point. Once you do, let the eyes fall into the sockets, relax your jaw, focus on deepening your breath, and take about 4 more here. From here, let's release through the arms and legs. Start to adjust everything back to center, back to center. Shake everything out, and then readjust your body so it's in the middle of the mat again. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together and just let the knees open up wide into a reclined bound angle position. And from here, we're just going to take 4 slow breaths, just letting the inner hips and groin melt open. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. And then from here, we're going to lift the right knee and draw the right knee to your chest. We're going to take it into a twist. Grab the knee with your left hand. Let your right arm fall to the side. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, pull the knee over to the left and down towards the ground while keeping your right shoulder blade on the floor. Don't let it curl up. Maybe your head rolls over to the right. Each inhale, feel your body expand with the breath. And each exhale, maybe guide yourself in a little deeper into the twist. Just a couple more breaths here on your own, expanding and drawing deeper. Let your head come back to center. Let your knee come back to center. And then set it back into that half butterfly position, down to meet the other foot. Now we're going to switch sides. Left knee lifts up, pull it in towards the chest with the hands. On an inhale, hold the knee with your right hand, left arm falls to the left side. And then exhale, pull the knee to the right and down towards the ground. Left shoulder stays rooted into the floor. Maybe the head rolls over to the left, over the left shoulder. And same thing for a few breaths. Feel the inhale, create expansion in space. And feel the exhale guide you deeper into the position. 2 more on your own. Head lifts back to center. Knee lifts back to center. Let's pull both knees into your chest. Lift your head towards your knees. Squeeze into a tight little ball. And we're going to release into Savasana. So you're going to take your legs out long. Separate them about the width of the mat or a little wider. Let your arms come out wide. Let everything just spill off the edges of your mat. Take up space. If it feels better, you can take your blocks and bring them underneath the backs of your knees so they provide a little bit of lift and space. This can feel nice on the lower back as well. Take it if it feels good or let it go if not. We're going to do a little bit of breath here from our back. We're going to focus on alternate nostril breathing. And this is going to help smooth and slow down the breath, also to help calm the mind. So find your right hand, your peace fingers, like you're going to throw up a peace sign. Bring them together. And then take the tips of those fingers to your forehead and just rest them there. Without plugging the nose just yet, bring your thumb to your right nostril and bring your ring finger to your left nostril. Just let the pinky finger hang out. Exhale, completely release your breath. Through the nose, take a slow breath in. And then plug the right nostril with your thumb and exhale through the left side. Keep the left side open as you breathe back in through the left. And then plug the left nostril, open up the right side, and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right side. Plug the right nostril, open up the left, exhale through the left. Inhale, left side. Plug the left, open up the right, exhale, right side. And you're going to continue on your own. Whatever side you just exhaled through, breathe back into that side. And once you're done with your inhale, then switch. Open up the opposite nostril and exhale through that side, repeating the same process. Continue at your own pace and really fall into your own breathing rhythm. In one side and out through the other. Slow and steady. Naturally, your breath will start to elongate. All of your focus and attention is on what the breath is doing. And because of that, the mind will start to feel more and more relaxed, more calm, more restful. And as we isolate the breath through one nostril and then the other, we're also balancing out the hemispheres of the brain. Take just a few more rounds here on your own. And on your next exhale, just let your hand fall from your face. Rest it into any comfortable positioning here and release all effort, all control, and just allow yourself to be fully present, relaxed, and drop below the surface all the turbulence and movement, and start to settle down into your depth, that calm, that clarity. And through this space, through this connection, allow yourself to just completely let go and be. The next few minutes are yours to just enjoy. Start to slowly deepen your breath. Feel that internal movement as the breath circulates throughout the body. Start to add some movement into your fingers and into your toes. Rotate through your wrists, through your ankles. Rock your head from side to side. Stretch your arms over your head, and as you do, reach from your fingertips down to your toes. Stretch your full body. And then pull the knees to the chest, arms wrap around the legs, sway yourself left and right. And roll over to either side, come into a fetal position. And use your top hand to gently press yourself all the way up into a seat. You can set any props you may have out of your way. Come into a seat of your choice. Eyes are closed, spine lifts up tall. Lift the shoulders, pull them back, and drop them down. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment to just thank your bodies for all that they do for you. Being grateful for our bodies, being grateful for this practice. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Open up your eyes whenever you're ready. So we should be feeling nice and relaxed. Hopefully your body is feeling good. Your mind is feeling good. You have a state of ease that you get to take with you for the rest of your day. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'm looking forward to practicing with you again soon. Thanks so much.